If the path you're currently on isn't bringing fulfillment, joy, or growth or peace, there's no shame in changing directions. You're not obligated to stay where you feel stuck just because you spent a lot of time getting there. Sometimes the bravest thing you can do is to go on a new path. A fresh path may be uncertain, but also brings new possibility. Remember, you're not the problem. You're just on the wrong path. Hey everybody, this is Milton at Man on a Mission. Thank you so much for coming here and joining me today. Like many people, a lot of us are looking for work in the job market, and sometimes it just feels like things are not going right. You just feel like you are the problem. But I'm going to tell you something. You're not the problem. You just need to change the path. In your current path, things are not working out. You can't get a job interview. You can't write your resume right. Everybody keeps telling you no. But you got to figure out, what is it that I need to do in order to get on the right path? So I'm going to talk to you today real quick about some things you can do to help you to get on the right path. And one of the biggest things before we get into it is always remember, be yourself. Be true to who you are. Don't change for anybody, because you have character traits, skills, and things that you are uniquely defined by. And don't let anybody change that. And sometimes it feels like, well, I can't fit into this, I can't fit into that. Well, the answer to that is you don't need to fit into that. Those are things that you don't need to fit into, because that takes away from you being who you truly are. And we don't ever want to change who you are, because you have those unique skills and characteristics that nobody else has. So when it feels like you're the problem, take a step back to look at it and say, what is really the issue? The issue, I believe, is you need to change the path that you're on. And somebody shared me once, it was a story about this guy on a bike. It was a guy had a bike, had round wheels, and a guy that had square wheels. So with the round wheels, it just rolls fine on the concrete or in the grass or whatever, because there's nothing to block it. But with the square wheel, you get stuck in those type of situations because the wheel has nowhere to turn on. But if you change the road into like a road that has humps and circle things, I don't know what you call them, that wheel will just easily roll on it. So you're not changing the bike, you're changing the path that the bike goes down. So you need to do the same thing with yourself. It's not so much about changing who you are, it's changing the path that you're on. And that's what we're going to talk about. So I think some of the things that we need to look at when you're showing up trying to put all the good effort in and it doesn't work, you need to change the path. So let me give you some pointers that I think you need to do. Because remember, nothing is impossible. There's always a way out of every problem and every challenge. The question is, how do you actually change your path in life when it feels overwhelming, when it feels like it's just too much to deal with? There are ways you can do. The first thing I say you need to do, you take a pause and reflect. Ask yourself a couple questions. What feels off right now? What is the thing that feels off about all of this? Is it because nobody's calling me back? Is it because I don't feel like my resume is good enough? Do I not have enough contact? What feels off? What do I want to see next question? What do I want more of in this life? What drains me or what energizes me? How am I approaching the job market? Am I excited? Am I depressed? Do I feel overwhelmed? What is the cause and effect, pause and effect? So let's answer the question. So the first question was, how do you deal with when the resume, you don't feel like the resume is right, or you're not getting to the right avenues? First, look at the avenues you're trying to get into. What is it you're trying to get into? I talked about it in a few videos a while back. What jobs are you looking for? Are there jobs that fit your specific skills, or is it something you're trying to branch into a new market? Both are great, but you have to have a clear understanding of how you're going to approach that. If it's something you're going to do new, you need to research that area. You need to study that market. You need to study that career and learn more about it. So when you write that resume or when you approach them, you'll have the language and the right tone in order to address what you're looking for. If you're going to follow the same path that you were already in, you have to ask yourself a simple question. How did that work out so far? How's that worked out with me so far? Has that helped me? Has it hindered me? Is it something that I keep hitting a roadblock with as I continue to do it? If it's not working out, if it hadn't worked out over the last 5-10 years, maybe you need to look at a new path. You need to do something different. Not saying that you failed or anything like that, because you're never the problem. The Problem is you're just going down the wrong path. You need to look at going in a new direction, and that begins with studying, researching, and learning about the new direction that you want to go in. So when you define a new direction, you don't need to have a perfect plan in order to do it. You just need to know what it is you want. What would be meaningful to you in this life? What are your dreams? What are your values? What are your interests? What are the things that you wish you were doing at this time? And a lot of us don't answer those questions because we feel like we don't deserve the right to answer those questions. But you have the right to answer those questions. What is it you want out of life? What is meaningful to you? What brings you joy? What brings you happiness? Sometimes we get so caught up in the workplace that we overlook that. And there are jobs that you can create, and there are jobs that you can work in that will bring you meaning in all of the things that you want in life. But you have to be able and willing to go a different direction. You can't stay in the same direction because it's bringing you into a roadblock. You hit that same wall every time because you're constantly trying to do the same thing over and over and over, and it doesn't change, and you're wondering, am I the problem? You're not the problem. You're just going down the wrong path. And sometimes you have to start small. Take a class, talk to somebody, shadow somebody, work alongside somebody. Do whatever you can to help you to change that path, because sometimes we're so stuck in our own minds, in our own ways, that we have no idea that we can go in a different direction. So start small. Start small. Start reading. Start applying yourself to different things. Start taking webinars. Surround yourself with people who will help you to change. Surround yourself with people who will motivate, who will push you, who will call you out on your BS, so that you know that, hey, I need to make a change. I need to do something different because I've been doing this for the last 3 or 4 weeks, 3 or 4 months, and nothing's changing. What is the problem? The problem is you're going down the wrong path. Next, be brave. You have to walk into the unknown. When you got your first job, you didn't know what it was going to be like. You didn't know what it was going to do. You didn't know how you're going to fit into it. But it didn't stop you from going out to do it. But for some reason now, since you've had job loss, you've had heartbreak and work, you feel like you don't have the courage, the strength, and the power to go out and do the same things like you did when you got that very first job, when you were scared to death because you didn't know if you could do the job, you know how people were going to treat you. What's different now? You have no idea what the new job market holds. You have no idea what a new position will be like. But you can't let fear change you. There's always risk in any change that we make. But you have to be willing to take that risk in order to go down that new path. And sometimes we don't feel like we're worthy of that. But I'm going to tell you, you are worthy of that. You're worthy of anything that you set your mind to and you set your goals to. You can do whatever it is that you want to do. But you have to first acknowledge the fact, I may be on the wrong path. I've been trying to do this way for so long. I've been trying to be successful by doing this for so long. I've always felt that this was the way in order for me to find meaning in life for so long. But now you've realized that that's not it. That's not the true way for you to find your meaning in this life. There is another path. We've got to learn how to step out and start walking down that path in order to see the successes that we want to see. Yeah, it's frightening. Yeah, it's different. Yeah, it can be overwhelming. But if we continue to sit in the same state of mind that we're in now, what's going to happen? You're just going to be sitting in that same state of mind the next 2 or 3 years wondering why has nothing changed. Things around you have changed. The only thing that hasn't changed to go on a new path is you. So you've got to get up. I went into it for 4 months myself. Like I said, I had to pivot. I had to change. I had to realize I was not the problem. I was just going down the wrong path. I kept trying to fit into something that I didn't need to fit into. And you're probably trying to do the same thing. You know, I'm used to this. I make good money doing this. I love this job. Great. That's wonderful. But that may be over for you. There's a new path that's waiting for you. So, hey, MiltonCraft Man on a Mission. I want to come by and talk about that real quick, about just being brave and bold enough to say, hey, look, I'm worthy of this. I deserve this. And I'm going to try a new path to help me to get to where I want to go. But before I go, I want to let you know, hey, I've created a website. And on my website, I've got some free resources. Now, I'm not technically savvy yet, but I'll get there. But if you email me from the link that's in the description below, if you click that link, it'll take you to my website, and it'll ask you to fill out your email and make a comment. Say, hey, look, I like the free resources. I will email them to you. Now, once I get up and tech savvy, you'll be able to click it and it'll come straight to you. Not there yet, but we're going to get there. So, hey, take time to go and check out the free resources. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and share these videos. Keep this community going, because I think we have so many great things that we can talk about here, and they're going to come. They're going to continue to come, and we're going to share and build this network family out real good. So, hey, you guys have a great day, and talk to you real soon.